Huniepop is a game that caught YouTube completely off guard in late 2015, with many YouTubers playing it back in the day. But the real question is why? Why is it that this random dating sim caught everyone's attention? What did the game provide that so many others failed to? Oh yeah.
So I kind of feel like getting laid right now. Looks like it's your lucky day.
But it couldn't all just be anime ladies, right? So today we're going to take a deep dive into why Huniepop became such a viral success. Huniepop was released on January 19th, 2015 by indie game company Huniepop. The lead developer, Ryan Coons, also commonly known as Honeydev, was the main inspiration behind the project. You can probably assume what a dude who makes an anime dating sim would look like, right? Perhaps a Discord mod who probably hasn't showered, plays League of Legends 25 hours a day. But surprisingly, he doesn't. He's actually a really good looking guy. So why would he want to make an anime dating sim? Before I answer that, let's look into his background. Ryan was actually a former Insomniac Games and Activision employee prior to Huniepop, and he worked on all of these games. The fact that the same dude who made Huniepop worked on multiple Ratchet and Clank games, as well as Call of Duty Ghosts, is absolutely insane. But it's awesome. It's crazy how he's an experienced game dev, and most of us, including myself, never knew. But back to Huniepop. Though the reason he started making Huniepop was quite simple, my two favorite things in this world are girls and games, in that order. But he later goes on to say the original pitch for Huniepop was basically, what if there was a dating sim that didn't suck? Much of the inspiration came from the fact that any dating sim he could get his hands on was either completely awful or a visual novel disguised as a dating sim. So being a wonderfully cultured and self-described nerd, he'd played many dating sims before, and he simply wanted one that didn't suck and disguised as a visual novel or just was actually fun. But for a while, Huniepop wasn't supposed to be a puzzle game. It was just going to be a pure dating sim. But after Ryan playtested, he says that it simply wasn't fun. So where did the idea of it being a puzzle game come from? Well, Honeydev says he thought it would fit the game well, and he had some issues that he wanted to fix with most other Match 3 games. But it also has sort of an abrasive and just off-the-walls writing style at some points that has ultimately lended in its success, as well as its artwork to rely on. So, as you start the game, the protagonist is approached by a woman and is visibly struggling to talk to her. After a short and very awkward conversation, she introduces herself as Kiyu and mysteriously says, "This will work and she'll see you later." And then you proceed to go back home. As you awake, a random woman with pink hair and a fantasy-like getup is mysteriously there and wakes you up. Wishing that were me. She introduces herself as the same girl you met last night, and that she is actually a love fairy, and is here to turn you into a chick magnet since you're one of the most hopeless people she's met. But before going out and throwing you to the wolves, she gives you a basic tutorial on how to go onto a date. Which brings us to... So this is where the puzzles come in. Each token represents a different topic of conversation in Huniepop when you're on a date. So we have red, which is our sexuality token, blue, talent, green, flirtation, and orange, romance. These four are going to be the main way you gain affection, which is a meter you have to fill to complete the date. Like many Match 3 games, you have a limited amount of moves, which you can match the tokens. But there are some that can give you more moves, these joy tokens, and they look like bells. So how did Ryan fix the Match 3 style game? He added a passion level, which is earned by matching the passion tokens, the heart ones. The higher your passion level, the higher amount of affection per match. There are also date gifts. Now to unlock these, you gift the girls items they love before you go on a date with them, and as a reward, the love fairies send you a date gift. But to actually use them on the date, you need sentiment. And these are those little teardrop tokens. Now these date gifts really can make or break many of the dates in this game, especially once you get into the later segments. because a lot of these gifts can clear entire segments of the board, netting you large amounts of points, or sometimes they can be pretty lackluster. Many of these gifts transform tokens into more useful ones, mainly these broken heart tokens, which, if matched, will drop a percentage of your total affection meter. But for many of the gifts, they transform the broken heart tokens into passion tokens, sentiment, or even joy tokens. Personally, I think that these date gifts make the puzzles very interesting, and certain combinations of them can net you large amounts of affection, or even give you tons of extra moves, or there are some date gifts that are just simple passive bonuses, kind of like increasing the drop rate of sentiment tokens. Once you fill the affection meter, you complete the date, and you get a success. And you get money? What the? I wish when I took a girl out to a date, I got paid. What? So there are 8 main girls in the game. We have Aiko. She's your hot Asian professor who everyone wants to bang, but she's also pretty funny. Audrey. She's your party girl who is either at the mall or the club and loves all kinds of drugs and getting into fights. Belly. She's a peaceful yoga instructor who is shy and has a strong connection with nature. Jessie, your classic adult actress. She makes no points in hiding her occupation and loves your attention as well as your money. Kiana, a hairdresser who spends a bunch of time at the gym to stay fit. She likes to keep herself looking as nice as possible. She also respects honesty and stability due to her being a single mother. Lola, an airline stewardess who is addicted to coffee and loves playing tennis. She's a confident woman and is glad to be a very independent one. Nikki, she's your gamer / art girl who's an overall introvert and just wants to game. Sounds like most of us. Tiffany, she's your classic girl next door cheerleader who loves school and is involved with tons of extracurricular activities. She's bright, but sadly her relationship with her mom, Jessie, is rough. Each girl has tokens that gain her extra affection and ones that give less affection. Knowing this can help make your dates exponentially easier. But on top of that, talking and gifting girls presents gives you honey, which you can then use to upgrade your traits. Upgrading these increases the amount of affection gained, depending on what upgrade you choose. After going on 4 dates with a girl, you are able to go on a night date, and finally make Kiyu proud. After making Kiyu so proud, she decides to join in on the fun. And you kind of rinse and repeat with the rest of the girls. But oddly enough, your little date all the girls achievement hasn't popped. Well, that's because there are actually 3 secret girls in the game. We have our first one, Momo. She's a cat girl, which sounds cool, but is way too far in the cat part and kind of creeps me out having to date her. But to unlock her, you have to throw away a bag of goldfish in the park. Celeste. Now this alien beauty is everything you could want and then some. To unlock her, you have to gift Kiyu your nudie mag and your box of tissues, and she'll give you a strange device. With the strange device, you go to the beach at evening or nighttime, and you will meet her. And then finally, we have Venus. She is the love goddess herself who comes down after hearing your recent accomplishments of dating every one of the girls in the town. And she is your final challenge. After getting through all the night dates with everyone, you collect all of their underwear, which you can then give to Kiyu, which unlocks Alpha Mode, sort of your New Game Plus equivalent. It makes it to where every date you go on becomes increasingly difficult, and it's kind of just never ending, and you see how far you can go. But if you want to be like me and 100% the game, you're not quite done yet. You also have to gift every girl every item in their collection tab, which takes far too long because of the RNG of what you can buy each day, as well as ask them everything about themselves, their height, their weight, etc., as well as get all of their outfits and hairstyles. Now, that one's not too hard because you just have to go on dates with them at certain locations. Once you've dated all of them, it gives you the option to choose where you'd like to go. So that's been a brief synopsis of the game, but why was it so popular? I think that the gameplay has contributed to Huniepop's success, and obviously the art style, writing, and voice acting. But mainly, I think it came at a perfect time for YouTube. At the time, there wasn't much going on in the YouTube sphere, and someone just had the ridiculous idea to play a dating sim and post it. and I think that's been a major contributor to its viral success. After which, the team capitalized on the success by creating 2 more games in the series, as well as a small merch line. And while they haven't said much in the way of future developments, both games that came out afterwards had spotlights on them as soon as they released, therefore proving that the team aren't just a bunch of one-hit wonders. But we can talk about those other games at a later day. If you guys would like to see more content like this, please let me know in the comments, and if you would, leave a like and subscribe, and I greatly appreciate it.
Setting up gravestones in my hometown. I wish I